Well, this mic sucks, but it's going to have to do. Testing. Well, this mic sucks, but it's going to have to do. Testing.
Hello, hello. Of course not, it froze. Wow, I hate this camera. Every time you frickin' move it. Okay. Now, hopefully everything works good. We are here to start a water change. Get things loaded up. Barrels open. It's a cold one up here today. House gets a little drafty. So, what we're going to do first is I'm going to load up this start the barrel drain. We'll send that one right down to the bottom. There she is. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to shut off the flow into the osprey tank and on the other side of the wall. And then we're also going to shut the flow off to this one. Okay, so those are going to start draining down into here right now. And I'm going to hurry up and get this drain started so nothing gets overwhelmed. It won't, there's lots of room there, but the other two tanks are draining down a couple inches. Two I just shut off. So we'll make that hose safe for the plant. Stay put. And I probably just knocked the camera off the fucking line. Hopefully I didn't. Just make sure the camera's okay. You're seeing OBS right now. Good morning, Mr. Cooper. How you doing today? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hopefully I didn't screw my camera over. Looks like it's working. I think we're okay. OBS, let me tell you, can be a little weird. Okay, that's all in place. We're going to start draining. And there she goes. now we'll start draining from the first barrel. I leave this, start draining from the first barrel here. I leave this sump running. So this tank's going to pump down while that barrel drains. It's going to take that tank right down to the bottom. Then I'll shut that one off. Reminds me I got to shut off the heaters for the barrels. That's been done. The rest of it stays running. You'll see the water levels coming down over here. It's going to come down on the Oscar tank. You'll see that in the lower screen, whichever direction that is from me on here. But bottom corner of the screen, you can see the Oscar tank on the other side of the wall. And its water level will come down just a little bit. And yeah, lots of prime today, extra prime today. I'm probably going to do the viscous tank upstairs too, because something's a little wonky up there, so I'm going to change out the water. Everybody's going to get good water changes for the next couple days, because the tap water's not right at the moment. We could leave this system go and wait a couple more days, but it's I don't like the way it looks. So this whole setup's going to get at least 2 water changes this week while I wait for the tap water to sort itself out. That way I'll stay on top of it. No one gets hurt. Yep. Sort of the way it's going. Oh yeah. Yeah, what am I doing right here? It's cold here. The wind's blowing, so it's even worse. We're -10, -12, sorry. Let's see if the wind chill makes it. Wind chill makes it -16, so it's not even. We get twice as bad as this real soon. Mid-January through the end of February, we'll get the -25s, -30s like almost every day. But sometimes, some years, like right now, 16 is actually low, -16. I'm talking Celsius. So. I just had to answer a quick message there. It was kind of important. Had to confirm something. That's good though. Thank you, sir, for that message. Okay, so as you can probably see, hopefully you can see it. I didn't block it out. Oh, I did. I kind of blocked out this. Well, this 75 gallon over here, the bottom's draining. I'm looking at the Oscar tanks cooler and looking at an empty 75, so we'll keep that Oscar tank going. Or that Oscar tank going, sorry. It should be there, I think, on your screen. I'm not a good news guy, I don't know which way to point. inch, yeah, that's a good amount of snow. We've had a good amount so far this year, but this last week it's been not much. I normally have a lot of shoveling to do when it does snow, though. I look after a few people on my street. Yeah, this is always a fun water change down here. I just wait around a lot of the time because it's just drain, fill. It all happens over here in the corner. And all these tanks just get covered. Couldn't be easier. And then when I gravel vac, I just rotate different days. Like this one needs it next. I'm going to do it soon. We're just going to get fresh water in. The tags still look great. I could leave the tank go. If I was lazy, I'd leave the tank go maybe even 5 more days, but it's not good. Once you start seeing your bubbles get big and sticking around, it's time. That's it. Especially when you got a lot of big fish in one tank. You don't play games. Holy shit, eh? We do the old translation. Minus 26 Fahrenheit Celsius. Holy shit, it's cold where you are, bud. Yeah, that's what we normally get right now. I'm like halfway to where you're at. Yeah, that's cold. Stay warm, man. Don't go outside. Well, you got a nice big car, so you're okay. I gotta go out after this. Gotta walk to the store. But it ain't minus 32. Right now I'm minus 16 Celsius, you're minus 32 Celsius, which is like, yeah, that's serious cold. Want some food, guys? Everybody a little, something there. Barrel's starting to go down. Hey, did I just leave my filters on? Oh, bummer, I did. I'm gonna have to go find that. It just fell inside on me. It's not supposed to happen. I'll wait till the barrel gets low and I'll fish it out. Stack. All these fish are growing. I'll switch microphones. Should be able to hear me here. I have to sit down. Back starting to quit. I can watch the channel from here. Oh, I should have. I'll just do it here. A little rest while we wait for the drain. Oh, come on. It's really just a big wait around water change. There we go. Back in the chat now. Yeah, me too. Sometimes my furnace doesn't turn off. Right now I turned it down right low, so I'm letting my house drop down to like plus 15 Celsius because I don't want the furnace being loud while I'm doing this. But if you hear it turn on, I'm starting to feel it get a little cool. It's going to turn on at some point. It's just the way it is. I think I gotta turn off that. We got time. We still got time. Oh, but I do need my vape. There we go. Vape acquired. Can look at some beautiful Oscars here while we wait. It's like the hurry up and wait water change. Lazy fish keeping at its best right here at Discus North. I'm just sitting around while my water change is happening. Soon I'll run pipes and just push a button and automate that shit. Not soon, but one day. That's the plan. We're heading in that direction. These guys don't even know it's happening. All life just continues on as normal for all the fish down here, and then I just turn the water back on, and that's it. It just gets fresh for them. That's how we roll. Yeah, I think I'm doing all the downstairs ones right now, and then I'm gonna go upstairs and do the discus because I sense a problem. Well, I figured out the problem, so I got bad city water right now, and it happens. It's just the way it is for me here. But I know what to do. I learned my way through it. The trick is noticing when it's happening. That's the tricky part, but it came to me, thank God, before it was too late. It should have came to me last night. So I'm triple dosing Prime for the next week, and I'm doing water change every 2 days, and that's how I get through this. And then once my tap water starts looking normal with that excess ammonia, then I know it's over, and I go back to normal. And they won't do it for a while after that. Seems to be a seasonal thing, and I didn't get hit in the fall. Now I know why. I guess they just did it late for some reason. But a lot of these Oscars, I haven't been through it with the Oscars yet, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. But if I can get the discus through it, I can get the Oscars through it, so I'm not really worried. And they need fresh water. I can't mess around. It's still pretty good, but you can see there's bubbles hanging out, and that means it's time. I don't need a TDS meter. I just watch my bubbles, and they'll tell you everything you need to know. Hey, big girl, how you doing? She's staring at me. They all want some food. Should go get them some Northfin. Yeah, why not? I will wait till we're done. There'll be a treat when we're done. Oh, probably got to turn off that blower sump now. Yep. And off it goes. And the top tank will, so I shut down the top and bottom tank. The top tank's going to drain down probably about here into the bottom tank and into the barrel. Mostly into the barrel. Barrel's going to continue to drain. Just got to look at that. Make sure, see how far down it is. Probably go halfway, maybe a little more. We'll clean it up. Don't want it to run dry on me. Actually, it's pretty low. Pretty low. There's my focus light. Anyway, way back there too. Now I gotta we fill and drain at the same time. So there we are, I need my jacket. So there we are. Just waiting the game again. I gotta guess though when that barrel's gonna drain. Yeah, it's the spikes that are getting me, and they have a byproduct, this weird byproduct, and it's killing the fish, and it kills the big ones. It kills the big ones faster than the little ones. Whatever it is, and for whatever reason, I don't understand, but that's how it's working. Well, I'm pretty sure it's this byproduct chemical. In that ad I linked in the other video. So, because I know it's here, I'm just gonna water change like mad all week. It's the way to do it. Just the prime lasts 48 hours, so water change less than every 2 days, and keep the prime active. Everybody will be okay. And once it's gone, water change it out, back to normal. I had to learn how to behave this way the hard way, through trial and error. I triple dose when this is happening. I always double dose, but it's not enough. Sometimes upstairs I gave 4 times the recommended dose of prime in what's in my tank right now, which is why I got to go water change it out, because things are just that off, and I can see it in the fish. They're not suffering, but they're not feeling like it's a peachy old I want to breed day, you know. Although I do have 2 breeders off in breeder tanks, but the water in those tanks is okay. It's old. It's been cycling, so it's not affected. So my breeding pair is secure, not dealing with this problem. And but I'll have to water change that tank tomorrow. I'm going to skip it today because of what's going on. So yeah, I got a busy day. A busy day dealing with this shit. Bad city water. But we'll get her done. But I caught it in my barrels, so I might be on the tail end of it. It might almost be out of the system, like the city pipes already. I detected it today with fresh water though, so it's still there. But I might be past the worst of it, or I might be right smack in the middle of the worst of it. Hello Daniel, how you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. We're just doing water changes here. Should probably go see what's going on in the other room real quick. Let's flip the old view for you on the other room. We'll make it a little bigger. There we are. Let's see what's going on with the barrel. A little bit left. Halfway up in the fill, and this is where I gotta go prime that. Triple dose. Don't do that one yet. This one over 2. That sounds so horrible over here. Are still in place? Yeah. They want food. I'm gonna go get them some North Fin. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to feed them some carnivore, and we're going to feed them some cichlid pellets. These are the larger size pellets that we have on the menu. So we'll start first with the cichlid ones. I guess I should switch the camera. Duh. Okay, let me re-show you those because I wasn't watching the screen. So we're going to start with the cichlid pellets, and we're going to move on to these big carnivore pellets. These are the larger size pellets in the lineup, and they love them. I'm going to start with the smaller of the two. That'll be the cichlid pellets. Look how clear that water looks. Even though it's from a TDS perspective, I'm doing a water change, it still looks freaking perfect. So here's a little handful of this for them. I kind of do that to get the smaller ones busy. Open the bowl first, so I can follow up with these bigger pellets here. The big girl wants the big pellets. So we're gonna come down this way, try and advantage her getting some. There we go. That should be enough for them. Those big pellets got a lot of food in them. They expand. Now, whatever smaller pellets are left behind, the little guys will sift through the ground for them. That'll take care of that. We're gonna go take a peek at what's going on with temperature. Temperature's doing great. Yeah, temperature's perfect, and the first barrel is about to overflow into the second. And then the second barrel will eventually overflow into the bottom 75, and then we will have a water changed up system. Yeah, chlorine's a lot easier to deal with. Like, I wish I had that problem. Chloramine makes life a lot more difficult. And then if your city uses lots of chloramine, then you got a new problem on top of that, which I've been trying to teach people. Yeah, like if you just got chlorine, if you got charcoal in your nice amount of charcoal in your filter, and it's not old charcoal, it'll just take care of the chlorine for you. Chlorine's easy to deal with. You're lucky. If you let chlorine sit, it will gas off, but chloramine won't. It'll stay. It's too heavy. Yeah, you're doing the planting thing, huh? So that's cool. What kind of fish you keeping? Yeah, my water comes out hard too, but I use a bunch of RV, like the camper RV. They sell filters for those, so you can, when you're hooking up your camper to the campsite, you can make sure your water's drinkable, potable. So I use those because they're cheap, and it's not RO. They're block filters, but they work almost as good as RO. So it really takes a lot of the hardness out of your water, and you can get it done cheap. They sell like two and three at a time for $20, and then you just put them in line with each other. So I bought some 20 microns, then I bought 5 micron, and then I put a charcoal block filter behind the 5 micron to help with, you know, chlorines and chloramines, and can't even measure it how high it is out of the tap, but after it goes through the filters, it's like 7.2-ish, 7.4-ish, and then I put it in my tanks, and it drops another point, like whole point, which is puts me in perfect range for discus. So it worked, and it was cheap. Yeah, yeah. Our Amazon, like, look them up. They're cheap. I got one that looks like an RO kit, like the way the water goes in, and you can just hook them into your hose, which is the beautiful part. You don't need to like pipe them into shit and all that stuff. And then there's no wastewater, because I pay a water bill, right? So we don't want wastewater. If you're throwing out 98% of the water, well, that gets expensive. So that's my solution. It works. Anyway, go do a little looky loo over there. Yeah, I got that that tap temperature is perfect. Don't have to touch a thing. I just have to wait for shit to fill. They've all stirred stuff up, sifting for food. That's good though, because that'll help the filters pick up the gunk. They're probably pooping right now because I just fed them. Sly's trying to chew his big pellet. He can't. He's got a deformed mouth, so he has a little trouble. Flipped him. Hey man, stability is what we're after. If you can find stable that way, that's perfect, Daniel. What kind of fish are you running again, or did you say that already? No, you didn't. I was curious what kind of fish you got. How big's your tank too? Yeah, yeah. Well, that's just like That's so you can see, because my bubbles actually stay good for a good while, like 3, 4 days minimum. Sometimes 5 or more. And my water's probably just like yours. and I'm using those RV block filters, and that's what I get out of it. So it definitely works, and it's cheap. Like, even to replace them is cheap. Some I've seen individual 20 micron ones for like less than $10. You just screw them onto your hose. It's great. But you want to get the 20s and then put a 5 behind it, and that's how I'm doing it. The 20, a 5, and then a charcoal block filter. And I can give you links later. I'll send them to you in email. Links to the exact ones I got, and you'll see the last unit in the chain that I use. It looks just like an RO unit. It cost me like $100, and it came with the filters to go in it. And you can just buy the new filters and change them out because they're standard sized. So it's like a little pressure chamber. There's one filter here, one filter here. The hose goes in, comes out the back end, and then the other ones are just inline, so they'll just look like tubes, and the hose goes in each end. It's pretty cool. We'll have another look-see over there, the other side. So barrel number 2 is roughly 40% full right now, and then we got it still fill up to 75. There, all I got to do is sit here while it happens, so I don't have to touch nothing. It's a beautiful thing. And temperature still maintained. It's still perfect. Right on 79.2, and I run them all at 79 down here. So everybody's, once I kick it all back in, probably take about 20-30 minutes for the water to get around and mix real good, and everybody will be 50% water changed. 5-gallon Betty tank. Oh yeah, perfect. That's like the perfect kind of fish for what you're doing too. Like, awesome. Awesome. Betas are fun. I had betas. I got them to breed. I got a few babies, not like a terrible number of them, but at least I got some to live. I think it was like 7 or 8 of them. Did you ever get them to breed? You must, because you sounds like you got the right conditions for it. I did it like when I was like 12 years old, and there was no Wallstead book back then. But I knew that I had to make it swampy because, you make the right environment for the right fish. So, and I was reading books. I had books on beta fish. So, and it was telling me to do a lot of that stuff too. But now you call it the Wallstead method. But that's the right kind of fish for it. It's the right kind of fish for it. You don't stick like something like an Oscar in a tank like that. And you definitely don't stick a discus in a tank like that. It won't work. You'll get sick fish. Nice. How many betas you got? Oh, here we go. Sorry, I see it now up top. Rainbow fish are fun. The 40's a good size. Yeah, yeah. Just the angels and the 29. They can get aggressive if they're a pair, so that's a good call. And the 15 with the White Clouds. I've never had the White Clouds. Cherry shrimp tank, nice, nice. That's something I've yet to do too. I'm gonna build a shrimp rack one day, but I got enough going on right now with the whole pocketbook and setting up discus, and that's a down. But I want to make a shrimp rack, and I want to like every color of the rainbow. I want to do that. Because shrimp, you can make good money off them. They take a while, but you know, you can make good money off them. Okay. Yeah, space can be a problem. I'm gifted with space, thankfully. I've got my whole place to myself, and my kids are all grown up, so I don't need to keep extra bedrooms and none of that stuff anymore. And it's me time, you know. It's me time, so I'm going tank crazy, and I'm having fun with it. Oh, better check what's going on over there before I flood the joint. Temperature's good. Temperature's starting to drop in barrel number 1. Barrel number 2 is about 75% full. So we're going to be on the cool side. I should have just let it go hot. But it's better to balance it. I turned up the tap again now. But I think my hot water tank might be out. It's a little bit much. It's not a problem in the summer, but in the winter the cold water's so cold that I have to crank everything. But there's enough water left behind in the system that even if it's off by, if it's within 3 degrees, they won't notice. If it's, right now, it's about 2 degrees. Barrel number 1's 2 degrees down. Barrel number 2's perfect. So we're probably going to be about 3-4 degrees under cold by the time this is done. But once they mix, it should be good. My first tank I had, my father worked for the school board, and at one of the schools, someone had broke a big piece of sheet glass. Like it was the right stuff to make tanks, but it needed to be replaced, and most of it was still good. So while the company came to pull the glass out, my father had the guy cut a fish tank's worth of glass out of the scrap, and then he brought it home, and we glued it all together. And I don't know how big it was. It was as long as a full-size desk, and yeah, it was probably like this tank, but a little shorter. And I don't know what it would have been. It probably 75, 80 gallons at least. And I filled it up with guppies. That was my first tank. And then I started getting all kinds of other ones from the pet shop. I keep bringing home like 10 and 15 gallon kits, and putting them everywhere I could in the house that had a spot that could hold a 10 or 15 gallon tank. They're all over the place. But the tanks I have now are the biggest tanks I've ever owned. I had a 40 gallon in between, just for fun, with some simple tetras. Maybe when I was in my mid 20s, and then I think I had a 65 gallon in my 30s, and just for a little while each. and I didn't do anything serious with them. Sort of nostalgia. I needed some fish tank in my life. But now I'm doing it like a boss. Doing it like I always wanted to. Oh, they're pooping. Yeah, 1989. I remember 1989. I was still a young whippersnapper. I believe that summer I was at an air show and I watched a P-51, was it? Yeah, it was a P-51 Mustang crash into a golf course. He lost control and that beautiful plane hit the ground, turned into fireball, and killed the dude. And I had my camera and I was taking pictures. Had a nice camera. I don't have the pictures anymore. Bet you my friend still got his though. Yeah. It was following a Hawker Hurricane over the tree line, and they were simulating an attack. But the P-51 guy figured he'd save some time, and he loaded up his luggage first, so his plane was heavy. I guess the Hawker Hurricane guy didn't know he was heavy, so he flew too slow, and the P-51 hit stall speed, and then he just went down, both right into the golf course and blew up. I don't want to be specific on my age. I'd like to keep that offline. I'm in my early to mid 50s. Like, I don't even use my real name online. I keep all that stuff secret agent, man. Best I can. If I know you well, I'll tell you my real name. But even the email, yeah, no, actually you haven't. Even my personal email doesn't have my real name on it. Yeah, I was at the Ottawa International Airport. There was an air show, and I was all over that plane when it was on the ground. I even talked to the dude that flew it. Like, it's kind of it's sort of weird to experience when you're young. But I saw it happen all right. A nice mushroom cloud because he was all full up on fuel too. He was heavy. He was heavy. He was too heavy for what he was doing. He should have pulled off and sped up, but I guess he was too involved in just following the guy to look at his airspeed, and he was too low to make a mistake like that. So as soon as it happened, he was done. Not that he was a bad pilot. He just made too many mistakes and created the perfect storm. Yeah, so now we're flowing into the 75 gallon. It's about 25% full. And we're at 76.6 degrees, and I like to run down here at 79. So They'll be a little cold when we start up, but it won't be too bad. Because it's really only going to be off by about 2.5, 3 degrees. So once it mixes, the heaters will pick up that change in no time, and they shouldn't really. They might feel a little breeze, just a tiny little breeze, nothing that'll hurt them. If I had to run discus temperatures on this system, I would have a problem. I would have to fill the barrels and wait for them to warm up before I engage anything. We would have to fill the barrels and wait anyway, because that's just what you do with discus. Tap straight out of the tap is not good for those fish at all. Not here, not at my house, with how hard shit is. That's why I got barrels upstairs. You gotta let it rest. Yep, my snack size silver dollars, they're fine. No one bugs them. I'm jinxing them every time I say it, but it hasn't happened yet. It's been a couple months now. I fully expected they'd be lunch, and I think everyone else fully expected they'd be lunch, but it's working out. That's the trick. The secret to Oscars is clean water and a big old female tank boss, and then you get peace. I just got lucky. I got lucky to find a big female for free. Someone was moving long distance. The fish wouldn't survive, so they had to rehome it. At least that's the story they gave me. They might have just wanted to get rid of it because her tank was too small for her, and they maybe couldn't get a bigger one. I got her tank too. I paid them for the tank though. Not very much, but I paid them for the tank. And I got the fish for free. Yeah, mine is like all over the place. I can't trust mine. But I need water, so I just have to work with it. It's a lot more difficult. Like I said, my city, if you weren't here earlier, I can get free fish tanks anywhere. Like they're all over the place. People are like, I need space, get it out of my home. So like the big ones, you just got to go pick them up pretty much. And I don't need any right now, so I stopped trying to collect tanks. I've got more tanks than I got equipment for them. Um, but once I get my next breeding station set up, I'm going to start looking for more tanks. I want one more 6-foot tank on this wall here. Maybe even an 8-footer if I could fit one in here. It has to. I can't fit one of those double wide ones though. I can't get those down my stairs. It's got to be standard width and just long. It's got to fit inside a door where I'm not getting it down. Yeah, there's that too. But the stairwell's pretty damn narrow. Like there's no it, it's basically two people have to carry it at the same time. There's no room for guys on the side to help you out. So this thing was hell to get in here. It's only a 5-foot tank. It was me and one other guy, and it took everything I had because it's very thick glass because it's rimless, so it's really heavy and it's very thick glass. The ones with rims have much thinner glass and they weigh a lot less. I gotta go watch because we're getting there now. this point, I can restart. At this point, I can restart the Oscar tank, which is a little complicated the way I do it. And so I'm going to restart the other two tanks now. Two of the tanks while the fill's continuing. So I'll fix the old there you go. That'll let you see everything. Oh, I gotta switch mics. Switch mics to the other room. There we go. I'm getting a little better at this OBS stuff, let me tell you. Okay, so all I gotta do is start these up, just plug them in. And just start the siphon. It doesn't always start by itself, and it's not gonna start this time because I cleared them. I clear them every time I do a water change because I want to make sure there's not they're not airlocked. So that one's running. Wonder if I can do them both at the same time. It's probably risky, but I'm gonna try. I use this Sun in the corner here to send the water into the big tank. Sounds like it's going, but I'm not sure it is. We'll have a look. Yeah. That's that. So now both this tank and the tank on the other side, they're filling. And when they get up to their flow line, I'm going to just start their siphon. And that's it. They'll just run flawlessly. They don't take very long to fill. The flow rates are good. They reach somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 gallons per hour on these two. And then the rest of it runs at 450 gallons per hour. 460 actually. I can start this one now. It's going, but it's not quite full enough yet. Here we go. That's it. That one's running. All I gotta do is stick that in position. And it runs into a charcoal bag down here. Now we'll check the other ones, probably about ready. Not quite yet. I can hear the weir over there just starting to fill now. It's not quite ready yet. It's got to go up a few inches above it. You see, and despite the fact that those two tanks are pulling hard water out of these barrels right now, like pretty fast, I'm still getting overflow into the 75. Heck, that one almost sounds like it started running by itself. It can do that. It did too. The second overflow, like I didn't even have to help it. It just, gravity just kicked it in on its own. It's running. I didn't have to do anything. I just let the airlock out of it and that was it. But it was already running. Now it's running like a boss. That's it. Now I just have to wait for this tank down on the bottom here to finish its fill. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. No, because I have the other tank in the way. That's it. That's how I do it. It looks like the barrel temperature's at 75.4. It'll start warming up though, because these tanks are starting to mix into the barrels. It'll warm up. And I'm about to stop the fill. I just want a few more inches. So we're doing good. We're doing good. That's it. I'll shut off the tap. Shut off the tap. Everything's where it needs to be. Things, oh, well, not quite actually. I probably need to pump a little more water in there. Forgot that. I forgot that one. That's okay though, that one was close to full, so I think we're going to be just fine like that. Should level out. That's it, that's how I do the water change. Back on the barrels. Keep the condensation down. Keep the heat in. Everybody's plugged in. We're good to go. Now the mic's in this room. There we are. Nice, yeah. I'd like to get the auto water change going here. I've got it centralized already with into the barrels in the corner. I just got to get pipes over there and a drainage set up. format where I could just either push a button or turn a lever. Everything just starts happening. Drop some prime. I have to check it out though. I'll check out your build when if you post it. How's the temperature in here? Pretty good. It's a little colder than normal because it's mixing with the fresh stuff. 77.5 out of 79, so they'll be good. 9 tanks, eh? Sweet. It's always nice when you got a new build going. Very exciting. Yeah, I have the old ones with the thick glass. My lower 75 is like that. It doesn't have a center brace. Both those 75s are old thick glass though, but the top one does have a center brace. I think just for the lids though, not for anything else. I wish I knew who made my tanks. I don't. This one's custom, so like, good luck. I can't even figure that out. Oh, they're actually get a Home Depot. Yeah, me too. Especially if you're gonna put big fish in them, thick glass is the way to go. If that girl freaks out in a cheap tank, she gonna break it. She gonna be a tank breaker. I've been breeding assassin snails. I probably got about 100, 150 of them. I gotta take them into a pet shop and sell them. I need the money right now too. I should really go do that. Maybe tomorrow. I might be able to get a ride tomorrow and go do that. Well, people like mystery snails. You should be able to get money for those. Like, I think I'll get like $1 a snail if I bring in my, at least. If I bring in my assassin snails. They sell them for like $6 up here, $7 at the stores. So, if someone doesn't have any, I got freaking loads. And I started with 6. I bought 6 to deal with Malaysian trumpet snails in my discus tank. And the trumpet snails were starting to get around in my other tank, so I started with 6 assassin snails. Now I've got them all over the place, taking care of business. Yeah. I might even try this because like I'm gonna make more money off my damn snails faster than I'm gonna make money off my fish. I might make a snail tank and just put all kinds of snails in it. Just call it my snail tank. I already got 1 apple snail. Poor thing fell out of the tank though and cracked his little shell, but he's alive and he's been like that a few months, but you can see the little crack, little fracture. It'll fix itself in time. It'll repair itself, I'm sure. Or he's just gonna have an ugly shell the rest of his life. I don't know. Should heal up, I would think, but it's been a few months and I can still see it. I mean, it's closed, but it's like a scar, you know. Boy, everything got murked up. See what's going on over here. I think when that filter sock fell in my barrel, it dropped a bunch of crud in there and it's getting pumped in my tank. That's unfortunate. Filters will get it though. It's not a big deal really. Yup, yup, yup. Yeah, that's the Malaysian trumpet snails will do that. They definitely keep. It, my whole ground was moving at one point. It was almost creepy. I had so many of them. I had like thousands. But those assassin snails went to town on them. Let me tell you. Hello, TK Tropicals. How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. We're just chilling. I just finished a water change on the other side there. Well, this one too. They're all linked, so. Well, I'm in Canada. I would actually take them, but I'm in Canada, and I don't think they would survive the trip. Yeah, it'll be crystal. Even probably half an hour from now, it's gonna clear right up. Because I put the filter sock back in place. It's it's all gonna get moved around across all the tanks. There's probably a dozen filters across all the tanks down here, working on all 450 gallons of water, plus the barrels. So once everything settles, it's gonna be clear as a bell. It's just because I stirred up the barrel with that sock. That's what's going on. Yeah. It's murked because we just finished water, but it's gonna look absolutely perfect real soon. They're happy. That's what counts. Keeps the aggression down. Keep them clean. Less aggression. I like the stock thick, so I gotta do the work. But yeah, it normally looks a little better than this when I'm done. If I hadn't dropped that sock, it would actually look freaking nice right now. love just sitting in this chair and watching them though. Beasts. And he's like a normal, like, when you watch everybody else, that's a 12-inch Oscar. Like, this guy. Just to, when you're watching everybody else's Oscars tanks, they're close to this size, and then she's a frickin' mutant. Minimum 16 inches. I never put a tape right up to her. But that one beside her, he's a foot long all day. Maybe a little over a foot. And then this one here is probably 10, 11 inch. Same with this one here. And I don't think those two are getting much bigger either. And then the rest of them got grown to do. They're still young. Yeah. I adopted most of them. That's why they're big. Like, I didn't grow them out. It's just people who just didn't want them as big as they were. A lot of people changed their minds about Oscars, so I was able to home them, so I did. The big girl there, they were stuck. Like, they were at the point where last day they had to move, had to get rid of her, like, now, and they were trying to sell her, but no one bought her, so I took her. Glad I did too. She's a tank boss now, and she likes peace. So if anybody acts up, she shuts it down. Keeps the boys in check. I think I've kept yous all long enough. 8 people watching. Wow. I don't really get many people watching normally, so thank yous all for showing up. I'm gonna end the stream now and turn my furnace back on because the house is getting cold. Yeah, that's true. It's the truth. They don't think, especially I think the person who bought the big girl was hoping to get one, maybe, normal size one by the end of it, and they wanted to keep in the 65. And then they got unlucky, and she grew that big in the 65, 3-foot 65 tank, like barely enough room to turn around. And then they had all kinds of decorations in it, so she was crammed in there. And if she wasn't alone, she was with a 14-inch pleco and probably a 12 to 13-inch knife fish at the same time in the 65. Oops, I just hit my camera. But yeah, she was really overcrowded. So, although she seems like she might be a little big for this tank, in her mind, she's got more room and better water than she's ever known. I made sure of that. So, and yeah, they don't fight. I got seven Oscars and 8 silver dollars in there, and there's no conflict because I linked all the tanks, and there's 450 gallons of water. And if the water's not nice, that's when they fight. That's when you get aggressive Oscars beating the shit out of each other. It's because they don't like their water. But anyhow, thanks for watching. I'm going to turn the heat back on, make some food, and we'll catch you on the next one.